Today, I am joined by Keith Curry. He is the first vice president for the Canadian Federation for Agriculture. Now, Keith, you guys are implementing the Hay West program, which will see relief for a lot of Western Canadian producers who are impacted by this widespread drought. What can you tell me about this Hay West program?
So we know that our farmers and ranchers in Western Canada, as well as Northern Ontario, are suffering through one of the worst droughts they've ever seen. And our colleagues across Eastern Canada got together, realizing that there's going to be a desperate need for feed for the livestock in those regions. So we pulled it together with the Canadian Federation of Agriculture, and we're working on doing just that, trying to organize to get feed shipped west.
So this program has been used twice before in the past. I know in 2002, there was a really massive drought here that a lot of farmers are comparing this year's drought to. So this is something that we have seen before.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, 2002 was a bad year. 20 years puts a lot of time between, so it's hard to understand whether it was equivalent to or worse, but we certainly were able to move a lot of feed west. And then again in 2012, those of us in central Canada, in particular Ontario and parts of Quebec, went through a similar type of drought. So our friends in the west were very generous in sending some feed this way.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, this is Canadian farmers helping Canadian farmers get through the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we compete daily in for markets with each other. And agriculture is a massive industry right across the country in every province. But the reality is, those of us in the agriculture business, we're only 2% of the population. So we are close, and you know, we feel it when our colleagues are in trouble. And so we want to do what we can to help.
And I know there still might be some logistics to get through, but when can we expect a clearer picture on just how much feed will be sent out to Western Canada?
So right now we're sitting around 17 million pounds of feed, or roughly close to 20,000 bales between big bale, round bales, and square bales. We're shooting for at least 40,000 or more. The first trucks and rail cars should be loaded literally within days, and the bulk of it probably starting in a week to 10 days, you'll start seeing more flowing. We're just working through lining up all the logistics around who picks it up, who does the trucking or the train freight, and then when it lands to its final destination, how it gets distributed from there.
Absolutely. I know a lot of farmers in this area are really short on feed. I know a lot of people are turning their field crops into feed to help survive this year. If a farmer is interested in getting feed from this program, how would they go about doing so?
Get in touch with the Canadian Federation of Agriculture. Info at canadian-farmers.ca is probably the best route to get a hold of us, and then we will fix you up with the appropriate person. You can also get in touch with your provincial general farm organization. So CAP in Manitoba, APAS in Saskatchewan, Alberta Federation of Agriculture in Alberta, and for those in BC as well, you can talk to the BCAC. And if you've got the product to donate, certainly get a hold of us at Canadian Federation of Agriculture, and we'll walk you through the logistics.
That's wonderful, because, you know, I know a lot of farmers are considering culling their herds this year. There's just, you know, not enough feed to be able to do it. So this isn't just helping farmers survive the drought. It's potentially helping the supply and demand of the entire industry out here in Western Canada.
Well, and it's also helping the future. I mean, our priorities right now are looking towards things like breeding stock. We want these farmers to be able to continue farming beyond 2021 and into 2022. So we need to prioritize, obviously, where this feed goes right off the bat. I know that not enough feed will get out there to save all the livestock from going to market, but we are going to prioritize working with our people on the ground out in the prairie provinces in particular as to where the priority regions are, and make sure that we try and lessen the blow as much as possible.
And as you said, this program doesn't run every year. It's only run twice prior to this year. So that just really goes to show just how impactful this year's drought has been in Western Canada.
Yeah, I think you know, this is for a lot of people once in a lifetime event, and we have farmers and ranchers that are quite literally watching their entire life's worth of equity disappear right before their eyes in a matter of months, and it's pretty devastating financially and emotionally. It's that emotional part that we tend to forget about, that mental stress that gets put on not only our farmers and their families and their employees, but they're an integral part of communities as well that are going to feel this. So anything anybody can do to help alleviate any of that stress that's going on there, please reach out to people, just to be a friend, just to be a shoulder to lean on. It's very important in these kind of times.
Absolutely, that's very important. Thank you so much for being able to join me today.
Absolutely, anytime.